Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to come on here and talk about the finale of The Bachelorette with Becca. I also wanted to speak about the final rose ceremony, after the final rose. And as you all know, there's Bachelor in Paradise. I'm going to be covering that. So let's close this out and let's move on to the next best thing. So anyway, with the finale of The Bachelorette, it was nice to see Becca go on these dates leading up to the final rose ceremony, but it's no surprise whom she picked and why. If you've been listening to my other videos, you know the very first video I predicted that she would choose Garrett, and it's no surprise for those who intuitively thought so as well. But if you also just followed the season and looked at their interactions, it was quite obvious to me that she was going to pick him. And some of the reasons include his reminding her of her dad, and she had a good relationship with her dad, and she liked her father, and he was a man's man, and she kind of spoke about that throughout the show. I believe Garrett was also on the After the Final Rose. He made a strong impression with her. From the very beginning, he got the first impression rose. And we saw some of the ladies in the very first episode kind of coach her and tell her the one who kind of gets the first impression rose usually is the one who you're going to be picking. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So I feel like we were almost prepared to know what was going to happen at the finale as well. But I do believe that they do make a good match. Yes, you can check out my video on Garrett, and I did speak on some red flags that I do still totally stand by that video. However, I do also believe that she is happy, and I do believe they make a good match. So I'm happy she's happy. I do think they make a good match. But when I did watch the last episode again, I won't get really nitty gritty in this, review, but there were some things that Garrett said that did alarm me again. And I had forgotten that his marriage was only 2 months. And he did bring it up again, and he brought up the fact that the girl, his ex-wife, didn't make those overtures to make things better with his family. But I felt like, and I do feel, that that's an amazing opportunity for you as that spouse to bridge that gap for the spouse that may not be getting along with the in-laws, and on behalf of your family, if you really want things to work. But only being married for 2 months and letting an argument stand in the way of you guys truly committing and moving forward, to me, is a red flag. And again, we aren't in that marriage, so we can't formulate a total opinion. However, I do believe that there's something definitely more to that story. And so I'm hoping he found healing and can heal from that past. And Becca is coming into this relationship not with the, subconscious belief that she has to be that good wife, the one who is the peacemaker, in order to be liked and make up for what Garrett has experienced. I hope she's coming into this marriage, in that need to please. I hope she's coming into this marriage with, once they get married, if they do get married, because we do know that sometimes these relationships have these long drawn out engagements. I don't understand it. I come from the frame of thought that an engagement should really last no more than really 6 to 9 months, because you're just getting engaged to plan the marriage, to plan the wedding. And you really shouldn't have a long engagement. You know, a year, maybe. A year and a half is like the latest. Like after a year and a half, it's starting to like be like, okay, something's going on. Seriously. But I do think 6 to 9 months is the average traditional good amount of time. 3 months is even perfect too. If you can be engaged for 3 months and get married. So I really should say 3 to 9 months is a good amount of time to prepare for your wedding. And that's what the engagement is for, to enjoy each other and prepare for the wedding. But when you start getting into this year plus, or really year and a half, is really when it starts getting kind of seedy feeling. You're starting to think, what's going on? 2 years, over 2 years, it's over. There's something seriously wrong here. Get married already. You know, it's not all about the wedding. It's about the marriage and building that lifelong commitment. And so anyway, I got a little off course, but I think it's important to note those things. But I do feel for Blake. I don't understand why she kind of let him talk a little bit more than almost seem comfortable about their relationship, but it's all good. Oh, and one thing about Blake that was quite interesting is that he really did know he wasn't going to get chosen. He felt something was off. And wow, bravo to him for having such intuitive feelings and intuition on the situation and knowing it wasn't going to work. He said he felt the same things at that moment when I think he was leaving that one-on-one date that he had felt with his ex-girlfriend when she was about to break up with him. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So I thought that was quite interesting and really shows that Blake is quite connected to like how he is feeling on the inside, and being discerning to the relationship and what is going on with his relationship. So that is a amazing life skill and relationship quality that Blake is going to be able to take into his next relationship. So I hope he finds healing and joy and is able to move on. Watching Garrett and Becca after the final rose, I could really see that they really loved each other. But it was almost like they were putting it on a bit. So I think they wanted to also try to convince the naysayers in some way or weird fashion that they are truly in love and they do truly love each other. Now, there's two trains of thought with that. Like, that's nice, and maybe it's a subconscious thing for them. But at the end of the day, if they really love each other, they can't really care about what other people think. You know, they're in the public eye now. People are going to have so many different opinions, and they're going to have to just not truly care. And I mean that in the best possible way. I also want to backtrack about the emotion point with Garrett. Garrett was showing a lot of emotion when he met her family. Now, this was nice and sweet and everything. Part of me felt there was something more there, almost a level of desperation. And I also felt that from Becca as well. And when Becca was speaking to her mom about which way to go and their thoughts, the mom said something about the dad and Garrett reminding her of the dad. And to me, that was a nail in the, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say coffin, but the nail, it was a nail in the hanging the picture on the wall. I just made that up, guys. There was a nail in hanging the picture on the wall to say this was the direction she needed to go. And that's still the deal. That was just confirmation for her to choose Garrett, because she was already feeling all those things anyway from the first night when they were fly fishing. And Becca also spoke about that and why she chose him. And I believe that was the finale episode. She talked about that. So going back to the emotion thing with Garrett and him speaking to the family and everything, like I said, it was nice and sweet and everything, but there was almost a level of desperation there. And I also felt that on Becca's part as well. So with that being said, they deserve each other. They are both on that same level, and they both are emitting those same vibes. So they're a good match. But if one starts, you know, growing in another direction and they can't grow together, they might split up. And I'm hoping it lasts longer than 6 months to 1.5 years. But we'll see. I know this sounds like not such a happy, it's just a real point of view regarding this union. And like I said, they looked happy. It did look a little bit put on a bit. But I am happy for them. And I do believe that Garrett truly loves her. Whether there's, again, that tinge of desperation in there, like this has got to work, it didn't work, and, you know, it has to work, you know, type of thing or not, that's to be seen. But I hope they grow together. I hope they grow closer. And I am happy for them. And you know what? She deserves love, and so does he. They've gone through a tough time. And, you know, there's a rainbow in the end of the storm. And ironically, it is raining outside right now. There's definitely a rainbow for all of us in finding love. We just have to stay true to ourselves, heal our past, and just move forward to a bright future. And there's a bright future for Blake as well. And he's going to make an amazing husband one day. And with that, I am so happy this season is over. It was fun. It was twists, turns, and all that stuff. But I knew how it was going to end from the beginning. So I'm not too surprised, but I'm happy to have this journey with you guys. Journey, whatever. Some people don't like that word, but it was fun. And on to Bachelor in Paradise. Check out the other videos and check out the new Bachelor in Paradise videos I will be posting.